Hi guys, Miles here at Adapt Energy. In this video we're going to be exploring what's the best size solar and battery system for your needs. Now there's a number of factors that contribute to this decision, and it comes down to your energy profile, how you're using energy, whether that be a lot of daytime consumption, more in the evening, and also how your energy profile is going to look in the future. Are you going to be adding electric vehicles, a pool, a spa, air conditioning in the future, or you have a growing family? And also it comes down to how long you intend to be in the property. Okay, so if you're looking for a more shorter term solution, maybe a smaller system with a quicker payback, but if you are looking long term, the payback might be slightly extended, but your long-term savings are going to be greatly increased. So budget is obviously a factor as well, but it's all relevant to how much you're spending on your power bill, to how much you're going to save, and also if you oversize that solar system, you can make a little bit of extra residual income by getting paid to support the grid with battery export tariffs, and that can really help the payback. So even if you are a smaller user, there is an opportunity to maybe go for a slightly bigger system than you need, but get paid to support the grid through those exports, and you can improve your payback with that, and that's what we can dive into a little bit more. So with a smaller system, we're typically seeing around that sort of 6 kilowatt system as an entry point if you're a small user, or if you're looking at a shorter term solution, maybe 2 to 3 years, and you'll be moving property or something like that. That sort of system with maybe a 10 kilowatt hour battery to see you through the evening is going to be what we would call a small solution, and great if you're looking to be in the property short term. I guess the disadvantages with a system of that size for a typical home would be you'd still be paying for a little bit of power, and potentially not giving you a huge amount of blackout protection and backup. A more of a common size system would be what we would call a medium size system, something like a 10 to 13 kilowatt solar with maybe 25 to 30 kilowatt hours of storage. That's a really common size system, which is going to be a great fit for most people's energy requirements to cover the majority of that power bill and give you pretty much full home backup if there's an outage to get you through a day or two there, and it will do sort of solar charging for longer blackouts, but generally just managing your loads in outages. The long-term saving potential with that sort of solution is fantastic, and that is a great fit for a lot of people. Where it gets really exciting is the larger systems. If you are going to look to invest for the long term, fill your roof with high efficiency solar panels, and go for a battery that's big enough for your needs and a little bit extra to support the grid. This is what we call the energy freedom solution, and this is where we see the customer satisfaction really getting especially high. It's that feeling of being able to use your power freely without the worry of that bill shock, without the high impact on the planet as well. It's a key factor for a lot of people. And being really self-sufficient and not relying on the grid. So if there is an outage, you've got plenty of excess solar, plenty of excess battery to get you through. And when you don't need that energy, you can actually export it and get paid to support the grid. Between the hours of 4 till 9 p.m, we are seeing solar and battery export rates, feed-in tariffs of sort of 18 to 45 cents per kilowatt hour now, depending on the plan that you're in. So that is a really, really good way to help the system pay for itself, and also just get that bit of residual income along the way. So that's where we see those outstanding long-term savings. With the larger systems, let's say up to that sort of 20 to 25 kilowatts of solar, some three-phase homes are going all the way up to that 30 kilowatts of solar, and around that 50 kilowatt hours of battery. Some much larger homes are going for up to that 100 kilowatt hours of storage. But the saving potential long term, it can be potentially $170,000 to $200,000 over the life of that system. So the larger systems will cost a bit more upfront, but the earning potential and saving potential long term is dramatically increased. So it's well worth considering if you're going to be in the property long term. A 6 kilowatt solar with a 10 kilowatt hour battery, the lifetime savings and that's still pretty awesome. You might be looking at anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 over the life of that system. A medium system could still save you long term over $100,000. But if you really want to be in that property long term and get a complete energy freedom solution, then consider going bigger with your system. If you don't have the roof space for a large solar system, you can still benefit from a smaller solar system and a larger battery. And you can actually charge that battery at a free usage window with many energy retailers now. So there might be a couple of hours in the middle of the day where you could actually top that battery up from the grid, and you're essentially using someone else's solar to do that, and that would be free. And then you can use that battery power in the evening to cover your needs, or like I say, if you have a slightly larger battery, export that to the grid. So there's many different ways to get around it. Here at Adapt Energy, it is definitely a tailored approach, which is going to give you the best outcome. Speak to one of our consultants. We'll understand your needs, your budget, your timeframes, how your energy is looking now and in the future, and we'll go through that in detail. And just make sure we get the right fit for you, because every home is different and everyone's sort of drivers are different there. So get in touch and we'll go through it in detail and make sure we get the perfect solution for your needs and your version of energy freedom.